Thank you for tuning into Cytology 101. I'm your host, Sydney Robinson. We'll get into the challenges of the dental industry, empower leaders to inspire their teams, and foster collaboration between office team members and practice owners. Together, we'll find creative solutions to get shit done. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Cytology 101. I hope y'all are ready for this episode because this one is a good one. This episode actually was previously recorded, and it was recorded with Dr. Mark Costas and aired on the Dentalpreneur podcast. So if you have not checked it out on the Dentalpreneur podcast, I would recommend going over checking out Dr. Mark Costas because we actually had an amazing time in Las Vegas. We were invited out by the Henry Schein team. Well, actually, let me take that back. We wasn't anything. Dr. Mark Costas was invited out to have a cool booth set up at Thrive, which is hosted by Henry Schein. And then, of course, he reached out and was like, hey, Sydney, do you want to come hang out in Vegas? I was like, yeah, who doesn't? And the Henry Schein team was so amazing. They treated us really well. But in addition to that, that event was super baller. There were so many great speakers, so many sponsors. There was a great Gatsby-themed after party, which was pretty cool. They even had a comedian there one night. So they went all out, y'all. So if you have not checked out Thrive Live and you have a little bit of FOMO from this, make sure you guys check it out next year because that was actually really fun. But anywho, in this episode, Dr. Mark Costas and I, we sit down and we discuss my journey going from a treatment coordinator all the way to executive director, now founder and owner of FOA Coaching. And essentially, it's how I learned to lead my team and how I led mostly the hard way. I made a ton of mistakes, y'all. And so I talk about that. I talk about what it meant to really influence and empower, but I didn't really learn that until I made mistakes. So if you feel like you are one of those office managers or team lead that is just like, you know what? Hey, I've been promoted just because I've been here the longest. Or, hey, someone left and now I'm put in this position. I don't even really know what I'm supposed to do. I think you guys would really like this episode because it's just me, being honest, and talk about honestly those failures and those wins. So I hope you guys are ready. If not, make sure you go and grab your coffee or your cocktail because I sure enough had a cocktail while I was recording this. And I hope you guys enjoy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Dentalpreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Mark Costas. What's up, friends? I hope you're doing great out there today. Hey, listen, I'm still here at the Shine Thrive event, podcasting live with the executive director of the Dental Success Network, Sydney Robinson. What's up?
Hey,
how you doing,
y'all.
Sid?
How y'all doing?
What's going on?
Oh, nothing. Just enjoying my time here in Vegas, which is actually pretty cool because technically I'm working, but I'm not working. I've never done anything like this with you before. And it's like a really chill job, like super chill. I mean, you basically do all the work, though.
My kids say all the time, Dad, why are you tired? All you do is talk for a living. Can't be that hard.
It's not that hard, Mark.
I'm not digging ditches, all right? I am definitely not digging ditches, but I mean, being able to develop and produce this much charm throughout the day is exhausting.
It is exhausting.
Charm is exhausting.
Well, you do make it look really easy. So that's why I'm like, this is super dope and fun. But also, I just get to giggle and make fun of people. Am I allowed to say
and bring us cocktails in the middle of the day when we're supposed to be working?
Yeah. Well, I mean, my boss said it's okay.
I do recall a few times when you and I were quote unquote working, Sydney, after hours in Vegas, actually, when things got a little out of hand. But
listen,
it's all in good fun, right?
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Work hard,
okay?
play hard. Yeah.
Yes,
and
exactly.
we are in Vegas, and me talking on the airwaves about it really is kind of in essence staying in Vegas.
Yeah. Yes, it is. I love it. I like how it looped back. Way to close that loop, guy.
I could rationalize anything, Sydney. So what's going on?
Oh, well, a lot of things are going on.
Yeah. Tell me about what's new in kind of Sydney world. We have FOA coaching, which is really, really taking off.
Yes.
And you, at the same time, are still the executive director at the Dental Success Network. So I guess maybe we'll start with kind of what are your responsibilities? What is your team size? We're kind of growing. We're growing at a pretty good clip in DSN. We have 1,500 licensed dentists inside the network now. So tell me what it is that you do, and then we'll talk about FOA coaching after that.
Yeah, well, Dental Success. Here's the thing, guys. All right, let's just be real. I don't know what my job is. So here's how I define it.
Okay.
I am you guys' fairy godmother.
Okay.
And whatever it is that your brilliant mind can come up with, my job is to execute it and make it happen. And it could be that our serial entrepreneur here may have just started a whole new, product or company. I just jump in. One of my favorite things, again, which is why I'm here in Vegas and it doesn't feel like work, is I get to do operations, which I love puzzles. I love, if there's a problem, I'm going to solve it type of person. Yeah. And so I love the fact that inside of our network, having, you, Michael, and Addison, you guys always have these brilliant ideas. And so my job is to take that dream, that vision that you have, and execute it across all of our companies, which is, essentially what I do. And what that entails is that I also have a team who help me with that execution. So that executive, director of operations, going in, making sure everything is flowing efficiently in our ethos or eco, sorry. And team member wise, we have 12 team members with Dental Success. We have five with FOA because, I do all those things. So, and each of our team members, we have a team lead. And so you just mentioned, which I want to point out to everybody, we have over 2,000 docs, but then we have about, me and Julia looked this up, there's about 20,000 team members.
Wow.
And so hear me out on this. I know it's like, hey, math. But some of these docs, right, they have 20 practices. I have one office that have 20 locations. I have, a single practice, but they have 24 team members.
Wow. Yeah.
So when you combine that and to think about the team size that I just said, 12 on DSN and 4.5 on FOA, we're able to operate with a small team because everybody understands their role. They understand the inner workings, every protocol, every system, where I can come and chill in Vegas, y'all, and be on these cameras and have fun with Mark.
That's what it's all about.
And meet new people. And our team is just crushing it, and it's,
we do have a very, very good team. Yeah. Better than it's ever been, I think, in the 6 years that DSN has been alive, right? That's right. 2018. So 7 years now.
7 years.
What the heck?
I know, I'm getting old.
I know. Jeez, that went by like a flash, didn't it?
Do you know that I've worked with you my entire young adult life?
Really?
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
When did you, because Cindy was one of my office managers. I plucked her out of the office after we sold that practice, and you started working for DSN. So how long ago was that?
I was 24.
You were 24? And that was how many years ago?
I'm 36.
I'm not supposed to ask that.
Oh, no, I'm fine. So everybody who's listening, it is okay. I can't wait to hit 50, okay?
Yeah.
That is my goal because I see everyone and I'm just like, y'all got it. Can I just get to where y'all are at right now so I can be done? My kids should be out of the house, all the jazz. But I digress. Anyway.
I mean, I do have to say, if we're just chatting here, I got to say that age is just a state of mind. It really is. I feel like I get younger every year. I mean, look at this huge hunk of muscle over here in front of the cameras or behind the cameras.
Yeah, Steve is
and he and I work out together. I mean, he's stronger than I am, but I could definitely hang. He's half my age.
Wait, what? Can we get a demonstration, please? For those in the crowd, we want to see.
Okay, so that was DSN. Let's talk about FOA.
Yeah.
FOA coaching is something that filled a gap in the marketplace. I totally believe, right? So there are some organizations out there that work with teams and work with office managers, but you really just kind of hone in on training office managers from a communication perspective, from an operations perspective, getting them to understand the business of dentistry, which I think a lot of trainings don't do for office managers. And I think it's so important that they can also read and analyze a P&L. Yes. They know the difference between a P&L and a balance sheet and a cash flow statement. Those things are very, very important because they can't really help you run your organization unless they have a certain level of sophistication when it comes to business.
Yep, absolutely.
So tell us about FOA coaching.
Yeah, so FOA coaching, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have heard already. I mean, with me being able to work with Dr. Mark Costas and all of our Black Belt coaches inside of Dental Success Network, we hear this and we see the post all the time. It's my team members, I'm trying to get them to fill the schedule, or we have high cancellations, or I don't understand why my hygienist doesn't do this. And I'm hearing and seeing all of these things that our peeps are posting. And I can tell like the disconnect is, and Mark, I actually use this a lot in my talks, is I'll never forget when you was like, Sydney, you gotta fill a schedule. That's my strict Mark voice. Gotta fill a schedule, Sydney. And I'm just like, okay, got it. And I go and I fill the schedule with 3-4 surface fillings, and then I get that look from Mark. It is so disturbing and disappointing, and you just kind of go in the break room and sit there and cry a little.
I would say that I was a lot of days I was a grumpy dentist. I'm not going to pretend that class 2 composites did not make me a grumpy human.
I mean, come on, let's be real though. Why would you want to sit and do that all day?
Oh, dude, it's the most. I mean, it is the most tedious thing. And then they have these things called a tongue, and there's saliva.
Oh God, it's ridiculous.
And there's bloody gums and all the things that go along with trying to do a good posterior composite is just maddening.
It's crazy.
I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
Yeah, apparently I did on you, because I wouldn't just fill your schedule with that. But I'm being dramatic, everybody that's listening, because Mark actually was pretty cool, pretty chill. Like you really had to like scratch underneath the surface to get. But when you get that disappointed look, that's where I was just like, oh no, I don't want to disappoint you, because it's, clearly you're at that point, right? But it wasn't until I was brave enough to say, so what does a full schedule look like? And you go, oh, Sydney. And I will never forget, we were sitting in our team meeting, and you just start going in about, where to put patients. And it just really helped me. Yeah. So when I see these posts inside of DSN, that's one of the things.
It takes you back.
It takes me back, because my definition of filling a schedule was completely different than what your definition of filling a schedule was.
A full schedule is a full schedule. That doesn't mean it's a productive schedule. It doesn't, just to make the scheduler feel better about no gaps does not make a happy doctor all the time.
No.
Right?
No.
There has to be some strategy to it.
Right. Yeah. And so when I see those posts, essentially now what I do is I want to be able to bridge that gap, because I hear what you guys are saying, but now we got to twist that and put that in a team member perspective. So, okay, well, Julia, what does a full schedule look like to your doctor? And when I ask team members that and I get that I don't know, I was like, ooh, girl, that's the first step. Let's go and talk to your doctor about this. Let's go find out, what does a full schedule look like to you? And the doctor's like, oh. And it's just like that aha moment. And it's one of the most glorious things. But then you take it up a notch, and now we have office managers. We have such a baller group of office managers now, and we've only been doing this for a year. But
not to interrupt, but you host live events.
Yes.
You travel to dental offices and you do a ton of webinars, and you do kind of lunch and learn type things. You have office hours. You interact with office managers a lot. But tell us first about your live events. Those have been really, really well received.
Oh, those are so much fun. So essentially what we do is we do half day lecture, and then we break out into what we call hot seat groups. And each office manager or team member, team lead, because anyone can come to these, they will have a homework packet. And so we're going through their KPIs, their production collection. We want to know their case acceptance. Depending on, what the focus is for that meeting, we're all coming together. But what's glorious about it is that they leave with 3 action items. So I don't try to make it, super, we can go through all the things all day, but let's be realistic and tactical about what we can actually do and start doing when we go back into the office. And what's the top trending thing that when I sit down with a team lead, it's, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. my doctor says that I should be doing this, this, and this. Or I ask them, hey, what's your monthly production or annual production goal?
Yeah.
They're like, what?
Yeah. That is a very common theme when the team members don't know what the primary objectives are. They don't even know what success looks like in their position. We see that a lot, actually. Yeah.
So we clear that up in these live events. And I say, okay, this is what a true leader, not an office manager, because I'm really trying to eradicate that word, but we'll get there later on.
What do you prefer?
I prefer an office lead. Like, I am a leader. I'm not managing people. I'm leading people. I really want everybody to be able to influence, empower. I want you to be able to come to Vegas, sip your mojitos or your tequila, whatever it is that your drink of choice, and not have to look at your phone and see, oh, where's that lab case? Hey, Sydney, the x-ray machine went down. You know, empower your team members to be independent, collaborative, where they're all working together.
I do like that word, empower. Empower is a very important word.
Yeah.
I think that leadership is in large part delegation and empowerment without abdication, right? So you can empower somebody without saying, you can empower somebody incorrectly. And I call that abdication, where you just throw a task on their desk and say, finish it. Yeah. Or start and finish this. Yeah. And oftentimes there's no context. There's no reasoning why they're doing it in the first place. The best resources to utilize in order to finish the task. Right. Any training that goes along with it. So that is abdication. Empowerment is when, you ask somebody to do something and you give them all the resources necessary for them to be successful, right? There's a difference.
And we talk a lot about that in these workshops. I give them the formula of how to respectfully, because I do see a lot of office managers. Well, I tell my doctor to do this. Are you telling them, or are you actually sitting down working with them? And so we just do a complete mindset reset, and we have some baller OMs out there, and we all just get together and we work on these formulas, work on communication, what it means to lead versus manage, and then help them understand from a business standpoint what it means to run a profitable business as a team member, not as the owner, and helping everybody own their role. In the dental office, there's a lot of, well, that's the office manager's job, or looks like the hygienists need to take care of that. Come on, y'all. If I'm on a football team and dude just got by on the line, I'm still going to try to go after that running back, right? I'm not just going to give up on the play. So
I love it.
I love football, by the way, y'all. But so that's what we do in these workshops. And so now we've taken a step further because we do have this amazing group of office managers. Now everyone's like, okay, Sydney, we don't want to have to wait 6 months, 8 months for the next one. We started doing small meetups. And so now we have a complete network where you can do a monthly membership with us. And what they're getting in these office managers or leads is they're getting, one-on-one leadership mentorship. I don't want to call it training. It's mentorship. Yeah. I want you to be able to take these and actually go back and, again, empower everybody else, because it's not just going to be you. You can use this. I use a lot of this with my husband because he needs some help. But, you can use this in your everyday life, right? So it's this really group of people, and we're all coming together, and we're really just trying to not only decrease stress in the office. We want to build as a leadership team, and not just go in with this mindset of, well, we have to manage the practice and understand, try to think like your owner. That was something that I really love about you, is that I felt comfortable and safe to ask questions, be really vulnerable. And then you would help mentor me. You'll ask me questions. You wouldn't just go in and try to solve it. You're like, okay, well, what do you think that we should do in this case? So I really want anyone who is in our group to be able to have a healthy communication, to be able to go to your doctor and try to say, I call it WWMD. What would Mark do? Right? It's the best thing. If you didn't know that is my whole mantra, that is literally my mantra.
Thank you.
WWMD, and I have WWAD for Ashley. What would Ashley do?
Or Addison.
Yes, that goes. And then WWMD. So we have Michael too. But the whole thing is, I wouldn't have gotten to that point if I didn't ask you questions, and vice versa. Sure. Well, and say that I effed up. Hey, I fucked up on this. And then I would tell you that I effed up on this. And then you'll say, okay, remember, it actually just happened last month. And you was like, okay, well, pass in the past, what are you going to do differently? And I'm like, well, I'm going to do this differently because you gave me all the tools so I can fix my mistake. And now I know how to move forward. And I want to be able to do that for other office managers. Don't feel like you can't go to your doc and say, hey, man, I effed up on this. Here's what happened. How can I fix it? And they may not have the answer. So then now take it upon yourself and go find out that answer. How can we do this differently?
I love it. I love it. Okay, so aside from people kind of not knowing what success looks like for their position or knowing specifically what the primary objectives are for the office, in the last couple minutes, what are some of the other big challenges that you see office managers facing on the daily?
Oh, man. Leading the team and getting them rallied behind those systems.
And I think that there is a really, really big need for leadership training for auxiliaries. Yeah. And I don't think there's a whole lot of that out there. So, yes, I agree with that.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
What else?
So then it goes back into communication. Just how to have a collaborative. Stop talking at your team members and start talking with them. So instead of saying, well, you need to call this patient, and they're just, okay, well, I'm going to call this patient, but they're going to call that patient at their own time. Leading with intent as well is something that I see that a lot of team members, you don't have to be a leader to be able to go, if you're wanting to ask someone to help you with a case, like, hey, can you call that lab? Well, can you call the lab by noon because Sydney's coming in tomorrow? So it's just really that communicating with intent, but also giving people the confidence. I know it sounds so cliche, but I can go in and I can do a phone skill training all day. And I actually had this happen a couple months ago where I'm like, oh, let's talk about it. And so I like to, again, ask questions. I want to know what they're already doing. I want to listen to their phone calls. But what I found in that particular case was scheduling. Well, they didn't know how long the doctor needed for crown or implant. If I don't know how long an appointment needs to be, right, then I can go in and I can say all these beautiful words and it's so fancy, but I can't give your team member confidence if they don't know where to put that patient.
Very good point.
So a lot of that goes hand in hand when if you're going to train or you're going to communicate and say, hey, schedule this patient. I can interpret that as schedule that patient wherever I feel like I want to schedule it, right? So I know that was like 3 things rolled into one, but I see a lot of that happening too, is just understanding how to communicate.
Awesome. I love it. Okay. If anybody wants to know anything about DSN, FOA coaching, front office academy in general, where do they go, Sid?
Well, they can go to dentalsuccessnetwork.com and all of us are connected. So you'll be able to, take a look around, go inside of Dental Success Network, click on Front Office Academy. You'll be able to see all those resources and what we have to offer. If you go to foacoaching.com, we are launching, which I'm super excited. May 4th is our 12-week leadership course that we're putting together. So your office manager, your team lead, essentially this is a 12-week course that we have compacted where we're just going to really go in and teach every area of the practice, anywhere from understanding KPIs, communication, phone skills, systemization, implementation, that type of thing. So we're doing all of those in a 12-week course, and you can go to foacoaching.com to find out more information. Front
Office Academy Coaching. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Sid. Well, thank you so much for taking the time during this busy day here at Thrive Live in Las Vegas. It was fun hanging out with you last night. I'm sure we'll have maybe a beverage or two tonight as we wind down. But the big goal is 26 podcasts in 2 days. First time I've ever done that.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not the first time anybody's ever done it, but it's a first for me.
Yeah,
so,
that's fun.
Appreciate you being part of it.
Yeah, of course. This is fun. Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the executive director of the Dental Success Network, Sydney Robinson.
Woo-hoo.
This has been another episode of Cytology 101. Today's episode was sponsored by FOA Coaching. If you would like to find out more about team training or personalized coaching, visit foacoaching.com. Also, make sure to follow us on Instagram at Cytology 101. Until next time, friends.